going to be making the easiest baby blanket with just 2 pieces of fabric. Now this can be as simple or as detailed as you want to be. I have a panel that I quilted together, and I did 3 by 3, so I have 9 blocks total, and then I have my backing, which is the back of the quilt, and this one is going to be the front of the quilt. The idea is we're going to make this self-binding. We're going to be doing that by mitering our corners. Great thing about this is it can be any size that you want it to be. So if your backing is 36 by 36, you want your middle panel to be 30 by 30. So we're going to be taking away 6 inches between our pieces of fabric. So this backing is 42 by 42, and so my middle piece is 36 by 36. So we're taking away 6 inches all the way around. So grab your fabric, and we're going to begin by mitering our corners. Grab our ruler, and we're going to place it along our fabric at the 45-degree angle, and we're going to be marking in 3 1/4 inches. So this is my point right here. This is 1, 2, 3 1/4 inches, and we're just going to trim off our corner. I'm going to repeat that step for all 4 of my corners. Alright, we're going to go take this to the sewing machine and we'll go to our next step. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our corners that we just mitered, our straight corners now, we're going to bring them together pretty side to pretty side, and we're going to place pins in it, and we're going to sew along this line, this edge by 1/4 inch. What I want to do now after it's pinned is mark 1/2 inch away from this edge that's going diagonal. And that's going to give us some room to turn under a nice, crisp, clean fold where we're not going to have any raw exposed edges. Repeat that for all 4 of my corners. I'm going to give myself a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. And I'm coming up to the marking I just made, so I'm going to back stitch at that marking. This is what we should have looking like so far. And I'm stopping at my line I marked. That's 1/2 inch away from the edge. And we're going to back stitch. Now that we have all of our corners mitered, we're going to go take it to the table and put our panel in there, and we're going to see it really come together now. Now that our backing is done, we're going to put our panels together, and we're going to see it just come together so simply. You want to make sure you have some pins because we're going to be pinning around this. So we're going to poke all of our corners out. This is such a fun gift for the new baby, and it's fairly inexpensive and comes together so quickly. Okay, now you see we have our corners already mitered for us. That's the magic of doing this little trick. Now, our border should be 3 inches, And so 3 plus 3, that's 6. So that's why we made this 6 inches smaller, because it's going to just inset in there. And the reason we left a 1/2 inch away from our corner is to tuck it in so we have no exposed raw edges. So make sure your insert piece is sitting nice and flat with your corners poked in there. We're going to go along and we're going to pin our border by about 1/2 inch all the way down. This is truly the simplest, but yet it's fun, and it looks like you spent a ton of time on it, and it's just so quick. And you don't have to do quilt blocks. You can do one solid piece, and this is flannel. You can do cotton as well. Cotton would be a really good fabric for summer babies because it's a lighter fabric. If you do want to do a 9x9 quilt insert like I did here, you're going to want to make your blocks 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches. Now that we have our panels pinned together, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're just going to sew along the inside edge and the outside edge. Don't forget to backstitch at the beginning, and I'm going about 1/4 inch away from my edge. We're all done with our easy baby blanket. What I did was I ran a stitch on the inside and on the edge. I also did a wave stitch or a serpentine stitch along each of these quilt blocks, and that just helps it stay together a little better so it doesn't come apart when you're washing it. I feel like this is a great beginner project if you're wanting to improve your skills as a beginner, especially with these mitered corners. They're so fun. It's just like magic to me. It makes for a quick project, but yet it still looks professional.